What's up, guys? Welcome back again to Chris Bosch Props. Today we are going to do a video of me completing and finishing this T800 Terminator Endoskull. I've had this thing printed and sitting in my workshop, guys, for probably about 2 years, but I've been so wrapped up in RoboCop projects that I just never got to it. And since I'm finished with the RoboCop stuff for now, I'm very eager and ambitious to get it finished. It is a very accurate T800 file that I found on CG Trader a couple years back, and it still lives up even to today. So I want to get it finished, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, guys, we still got quite a bit of print lines on this top skull. I had to do it in 2 pieces. I was able to glue it where the seam line is actually pretty flush and level, so that's not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to these 3D prints, as you can see, they always have lots of layer lines, and we need to get that sanded and get it smoothed out. So let me show you what I'm going to use. Okay, guys, so here we have our Endoskull. I'm just going to give it a good scuffing with some 180 grit sandpaper, kind of all the way around it. And then we're going to start filling these layer lines with some filler primers. Ain't much to it. Your basic cleanup that you're going to do on any 3D print at this point until the technology improves enough where you don't have as many print lines. Of course, when it comes to FDM, resin printing, you don't have this issue as much, but resin printing is a lot more messier and it's a lot more finicky. At least when it comes to large prints like this. The small stuff, the small models and whatnot, you can get it dialed in pretty good with resin printing, but FDM, yeah, you just gotta do this grunt work, as I always say. Alrighty, so we got a good little sanding on that. This is really not to smooth it out. It's more just to help the filler primer stick a little better and fill in those channels and print lines. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. You know, this model is really cool because it also has the removable chip here. Just like that. Very, very neat. So yeah, guys, we're going to continue on. I have the base here, and there is a little placard, a T2 placard that goes in there. That's in my box, but there's a lot of support still left in it, and I got to dig all these supports out, and then I'm going to give this a little sanding as well, and then I'm going to start hitting it with filler primers. Alright, guys, so what we're going to be using is Duplicolor filler primer, the red version. I've heard this is a really good filler primer and that it fills a lot of these print lines. We're going to find out hopefully in the next video how well it fills, and then I will follow it up and finish it off with some gray Duplicolor filler primer. But for the initial filling, we're going to use this stuff, and we're just going to see how well it does. I'm sure we're still going to have to use some red spot putty. I've already done a coat. And as you can see, we have a little seam here from me printing this in 2 parts that needs to be filled out, and it just needs a lot of sanding. But it looks really good. It's a very nice model. I don't know the name of the guy offhand who did it on CG Trader, but he did an amazing job. It's super accurate looking. So one cool thing I did with the lights is I used these 12-volt like light kits from Radio Shack. As you can see right here, I kind of modified it and cut them, and I also modified this light so that these just go right into it like so. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Hollywood Collectors edition Terminator head that came out, but they used the exact same light covers for their model. They used these Radio Shack. I'm trying to get it to focus in, but there you go. The Hollywood Collector's Endoskull is one of the most accurate endoskulls that's ever been released to collectors, and they use this same exact Radio Shack lens themselves. So I've always used it on the Terminator heads I use. You could still find them on eBay. I believe Radio Shack even still sells them on the website. Of course, the stores don't no longer exist anymore, but it looks really good when lit up. So yeah, that's one cool thing I'm doing, and I'm going to add a little light kit, some LEDs in so it lights up the eyes. And for the paint job, I want to use this Spazstix Mirror Chrome. I've used the aerosol version years back in the can, and I've loved it. It gives an amazing chrome looking finish, so I'm super excited to see how the airbrush version does. But yeah, guys, that's where I'm at right now with the Terminator head. Nothing too fancy, nothing too large. It's just a really cool model, and it's a great piece to have in your collection. And I wanted to show you guys how I do it. So I hope you like it. This is where we're at so far. This is the job that nobody really likes to do, is all the sanding and cleaning up. But yeah, this is a really cool model. I'll link it below if you guys are interested in building it yourself. There's a lot of different endoskull versions out there. This is definitely one of the most accurate. I have the teeth on the resin printer right now, so I'm excited to see how those turn out also when finished. So yeah, guys, we're on to the next video. I'm sorry I had to turn this into a multi-part series, but yeah, that's just the way it goes sometimes here on YouTube. On to part 2, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys for watching.